My artistic abilities peaked in the summer of 2018. I was on vacation with my family at the beach, but instead of playing out in the sand, I was programming on my mom's laptop. It would be then that I would create adventure. I wasn't new to programming, I should say. I'd been an avid Scratch coder as a kid, but this was different. Adventure is a Python file that is 432 lines long. Contained inside of the file are no functions, objects, or dictionaries. Notably, 418 of those lines consist of a single infinite while loop. It's clear that my coding abilities at the time limited the project's scope, but I digress. Adventure itself is a text adventure game. The game loop itself is pretty simple. You're presented with an encounter, either with an enemy or a merchant. Combat is quite simple. Each round you select a single item from your inventory to use, and then the opponent attacks. The only statistics are your health, magic, and the enemy's health. You're given some loot when an enemy is defeated to better your survival chances. If you encounter a merchant, you can offer them an item and they will provide you with supplies in return. The game has 18 items. They consist of 8 weapons, 9 consumable items, and ammunition. To win the game, you must find an item named Dragon Dreams, which can only be obtained by defeating enemies. Using the item will state, you pour the urn onto the ground, causing your greatest fears to materialize in front of you. The next time you venture into the dungeon, you'll be told, you must face your fears alone, as the imaginary dragon is summoned. Now, the only thing between you and victory is one fight. But this guy is tough. With 50 health, he has more than triple the health of any basic enemy. He deals anywhere between 5 to 10 damage each turn, when basic enemies deal a maximum of 5, and he has a 1/3 chance to burn you every turn, a status effect that deals an additional 3 to 5 damage each turn. This is especially brutal, because you can only have one status applied at a time, so using any buffing potions is nullified. If you defeat the dragon, you're told, you have defeated the dragon. You have won the game. Your terrifying night visions have dissipated. Then, you have a choice to continue playing or to quit. If you keep playing, you'll be given the Dragonfire Tome, an incredibly powerful item. The Dragonfire Tome deals a maximum of 64 damage, 4 times the maximum damage of any basic weapon. As a downside, it sets you on fire when you use it. I won't go into the specifics for the rest of the game, but I could talk for hours about both the good and bad game design choices. I would instead like to explain why this is one of my favorite creations that I've made ever. And that's because I've always been cursed with an inability to finish any of my creative endeavors. I can count on both hands the number of times I've successfully completed a personal project, but I could list my half-baked, half-finished ideas for hours. So many empty folders and so many half-page Google Docs. I made 2 sequel games to Adventure, creatively named Adventure 2 and Adventure 3. Both are finished, but I find them unsatisfying. Overall, both are less fun to play than the original game, and have their own issues. Adventure 2's main issue is that it has no ending. Adventure 3 added so much content, but had an immensely unsatisfying and poorly implemented ending. My entire life, I felt like I have so many ideas, but I never do anything with them. I just don't have the guts to go through and actually make anything. If I open up Godot on my computer, there are so many projects that I worked on for a day and then threw away. It saddens me knowing so many ideas I had will never be realized. I've thought about making Adventure 4 many times, but I've never taken the crucial step to bring it to life. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the only person who's ever played Adventure, but that's not a bad thing. Not everything needs to be shared with the world, after all. I created Adventure for my own enjoyment. I think that might be the reason that I hold it in such high regard. My other creations were in some part for some extrinsic motivation, to show my family, to show my friends, to show the world. But I take solace in knowing that Adventure was a game made by my younger self for myself. It never needed to live up to the expectations of others, and as such I remember fondly writing such sloppy code. So I guess my message to you is to stop thinking about creating art for others. Just focus on yourself and what you want. Now, I think I'm going to create something for myself.